The XRP Bitwise Spot ETF was delayed until October 24th, and a lot of people are absolutely losing their minds, but they seem to forget that there's about 80 different crypto spot ETFs that are waiting to get approved. And most ETF analysts are calling for these to get approved in October of 2025, which is quarter 4 of 2025. Do you understand how much money that's going to bring into the crypto markets once that gets approved? About $640 billion. Now let's go ahead and talk about Ethereum and do a little bit of comparison here. So first off, generally when Ethereum starts to move, we like to call for altcoin season. Also, if you're taking a look at the Ethereum chart versus Bitcoin chart right now, and I know by the time you guys watch this video, this may change, but we're seeing Bitcoin drop in value. We're seeing Ethereum pop up in value, as well as a few other altcoins. And with Bitcoin dropping in value, we're also seeing Bitcoin dominance go down. As Bitcoin dominance decreases, while Ethereum and other altcoins have sometimes even little teeny tiny positive gains, that generally indicates positive price action for altcoins and could indicate an altcoin season. Yes, I know. Altcoin season in 2025 is going to look a lot different than 2016, 2017. 2020, 2021. And I personally think that a lot of these crypto treasury companies are going to help rein that in, as well as the crypto spot ETFs, because let's face it, a lot of buyers are getting absolutely exhausted. People are just tired, okay? But at the end of the day, we essentially need traditional finance to come in. Now let's go ahead and talk about what we're seeing with Ethereum. The Ethereum Spot ETFs and the Ethereum Treasury Funds, well, the companies. Spot Ethereum ETFs post 444 million in daily inflows, outpacing Bitcoin ETFs. This marks 3 days of positive inflows. Inflows mean that people are buying, that there's interest in Ethereum with traditional finance or even retail investors. You guys remember Trump's executive order? The one where it was going to unlock anywhere between $8 and $12.5 trillion of retirement money, 401k money, and essentially allow people to diversify into crypto if they choose? Yeah, that's exactly why a lot of these crypto spot ETFs are so important, and the treasury companies, because you could essentially buy a treasury company stock and kind of sort of have direct access or exposure to these cryptos. Kind of, but not. It's a weird thing that happens in traditional finance. But back to the Ethereum Spot ETFs. BlackRock's ETH led with 315 million inflows. Bitcoin ETFs saw 219 million inflows, ending a 6-day outflow streak. So Ethereum is winning. And this is also a positive sign for altcoins. It's showing that people do like Bitcoin, but they're also interested in altcoins like Ethereum. And they're also on the sidelines waiting for a lot of these crypto spot ETFs to get approved. XRP, Hedera, Chainlink, Avalanche, Litecoin, Solana, and many, many others. And Tom Lee, you guys remember him, right? He has acquired about $10 billion in Ethereum over the past 50 days, which is over 1.7 million Ethereum and approximately 1.4% of all Ethereum supply. Tom Lee has came out and talked about acquiring 5% of all of Ethereum. And a lot of people are referring to BitMine as the strategy of Ethereum, Michael Saylor's strategy. Anyways, I just wanted to drop some perspective to some of you that are getting really, really exhausted with the market and remind you just to be patient. Public servants are going to public servant, but at the end of the day, we're going to get a lot of these crypto spot ETFs approved, and it's going to inject a lot of liquidity into the market. And again, with a lot of these treasury companies, they're going to be investing in crypto assets that become crypto spot ETFs and adding them to their treasury. And if that ends up happening to the extent we want it to, things are going to get absolutely wild.